Hi, everybody. Hello. It's just Fenris and I.
Oh,
What are you doing? Also, hi, Amy. You're here to
hi,
yell at us?
Amy.
Why are you here to yell at us? It's Sunday or Saturday. I keep feeling like it's Sunday. It's Saturday. It's chill day. We don't have to do much of anything. We're just we're just here existing, you know? It sounds like I'm stoned or something. We're just here existing, man. Fucking Moon's character in our role play of Subnautica. I was like, man, we're just all here existing, man. I was like, my guy, I recently took off with an alien that has four legs and a centaur form, and we flew out into deep space and almost hit asteroids. Shut the hell up about your we're all just existing bullshit. That's where I'm at today. Yay. Um, if you didn't tell, we were purposely trying to throw shade. You're home just vibing. Good to know.
Sounds
Good to
fun.
know. Also, I'm glad that Restream just shows like both chats. So if we're streaming just to um, Twitter or just to YouTube, in the Restream chat, I still see both of those things. It's beautiful. So
E.
if somebody is, so I don't have to like pull up the stream on Twitch to see that you're talking to us. I just see that you're talking to us. Okay, so how many people are here? That's a good question. I don't put the stream number up. All right, we got 4 viewers. That's cool. Also, apologies for ads and how long they are. New Twitch TOS are just like crazy. Mm.
Yeah,
There's an ad
unfortunately.
break in progress for 5 more seconds. Four, three, two, one. And welcome back to everybody who is on an ad in the beginning. I am so sorry about that. It's just how it is. Good news is you don't have another ad for at least another 30 minutes. And I've made them like maybe, I think, like 30 seconds apiece. So hopefully it's a quick ad break and we get back to it. All right. So for the 4 people watching, first off, hello, hi. Uh, I hope our clickbaity title got some people to check this out. The better successor to solo leveling. Yeah, we're starting shit. Why not? We can do that. Um,
Everybody else does clickbait titles, well, why
to be
can't we?
fair, to be fair, it's not inaccurate. The story for this is way better than solo leveling. Way, way better. All right, we're talking about Omniscient Reader. If you have not guessed from like what's on screen. Oh, also, I need to make sure that I am screen sharing at least what's here, so that when I'm talking about something, you can see it on screen and we can talk about it together. And blah blah blah. All right. I didn't really have a solid plan for this. I just figured we'd talk a little bit about it, gush about it, and kind of like see if we can convince some of you to check it out. This is on Webtoon, so you can read most of this for free on your phone. Uh,
And it is
it is
definitely
very good.
recommended you do.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I finally convinced him to read it after a while.
That's true. That's true. And once I did, I couldn't put it down for a while. So, without going over any of the stuff on the side, which we're covering up, and I actually appreciate that we're covering this up because I'd rather have a good um I'd rather have a good like freaking discussion about what the book is as opposed to just reading the synopsis that they put over on the side. So, Fenris, if you would like to go ahead and give your brief description to anybody who might be new to this series, as to what the heck it is about. Why is it called
Oh,
Omniscient Reader?
okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give a sales pitch.
Okay, go for it. Do it. I'm gonna go get some water because this sounds delicious.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Nope, no. Person to your left, you. The one with the beard or without. I don't know. Do you like stories where the main character is not the protagonist of the story? Do you like psychological mind fucks? Do you like strategy that wins over action or complete random bullshittery? This is a story for you. Has this has such a unique world to it, a different take on gods and demons and all that mumbo jumbo bullshit everybody tries to shove down your throat in other manga, manhwa, web comics, and even some anime these days. There's
I'm not
definitely
apologetic.
higher stakes than normal. Um, much higher stakes than everything else, every other manhwa or manga I've read, and you get invested with the characters. Some of the characters will you will want to protect them with your life, even though they're just art on your computer, and you will cry like a little bitch.
See, here's the thing.
So yeah,
I know that you're
check this out.
talking about. I know that you're talking about Omniscient Reader, but you could also be talking about Tower of God, or the beginning after the end, with that description.
To be fair, I have not read the beginning after the end, and I don't plan to anytime soon because the anime is such dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of God, yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure we both agree that Tower of God is superior to both Omniscient Reader and Solo Leveling.
100%. At least in the story. Okay, I will say the beginning of Omniscient Reader way better than the beginning of Tower of God.
Yes, because, well, beginning of Tower of God, you're still like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. You're very much kind of lost and following along, but like once you get past essentially the prologue in Tower of God, which is season 1 of the anime, like all of that stuff becomes nostalgic and you're like, holy shit. Also, if you think what Rachel did at the end of that season was terrible, that's nowhere near close to the worst thing she's done.
I gotta pick that back up. I stopped at the Hell Train.
Mm. I do too, to
Only
be
because
honest.
only because I got caught up at the Hell Train when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Set it down because I was like, I'll go wait about 2-3 months and then just binge some more. Completely never got back to it.
That's what I was doing, and then life happened. Anyway, continue.
Oh, that was my sales pitch.
Oh, no, your whole sales pitch is a sales pitch I could make for like 3 or 4 manhwa right now. I could do it with Triple S Revival Hunter. Um,
Haven't read that one.
in the beginning after the end. Omniscient Reader, obviously. Mm. Tower of God, yeah. I think I could also do it with a Man's Man, which is an interesting series. A lot of like the Japanese have isekai, Koreans have revival manga.
Regression.
Mm. Yes, regression. Sorry. There's also this one good one about a knight that has like the power of Groundhog Day. He dies, he wakes up the same morning and repeats it until finally he starts learning and growing. And now this might sound really dumb, but
Okay, I have
he's
to
got
ask
kind
before
of
you
the
continue.
same powers as the moron from ReZero. and he has the learning deficiency of the moron from ReZero. But the thing is, he is doggedly working at it. So whatever ability he's trying to learn and grow with, the reason he stays that way, it stays repeating the same day over and over and over and over and over, is because he's not trying to learn the ability, he's trying to perfect the ability. Which makes it
So he's
way
taking
more
advantage
interesting. Oh yeah.
of his
It's
power.
very much on purpose. It's very much that dogged Rock Lee style approach to, learning taijutsu kind of stuff. Where anybody in the military, it's like field stripping a weapon. It's just repetition, repetition. You know, that's how you learn a language. You just keep doing it. You just keep speaking it over and over and over and over until it's just second nature. I'll be honest, I'd have probably forgotten everything I knew from my Japanese language classes um, if I did not continue to watch anime in Japanese so that I could keep it fresh in my head and not forget it.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
little bits of Japanese that I remember right now. I'm always surprised when I'm paying attention to the screen, not the subtitles. And they're speaking. I'm like, I understood like 90% of what they were saying. I'm learning.
so we do have to give like a brief synopsis of Omniscient Reader and where they're out.
Okay. Um,
So
do you want your type of synopsis or my type of
I'll
synopsis?
do my type of synopsis. So here's the story, right? What if you were reading a book, right? A book about surviving the apocalypse.
I just
And
took a shot, Revan. That's my hydration.
and it came down to the end. You got to the end and you were like the only person that continued reading this this web novel all the way to the end. And then right after you finished it and you felt good, you felt kind of relieved about the whole thing. You were waiting for the epilogue and like a comment from the artist and all that, or the
A little
author and
bit
all
of
that stuff.
melancholy because you enjoyed the story and it's finally over.
And then that story began happening in real
After you
life.
get a mysterious message
Right
from
after,
the author
yeah, right after you get a message from the author, bam, that's it.
thanking you for sticking it out to the end, being the only person who did so, and you're getting a special surprise for the upcoming events.
I'm pretty sure. You know what's really funny? I think that the main character, not the reader, the main character from the book. It's just my head canon. Now, there is nothing to prove that this is true. This is just a theory. A manhwa theory.
Manhwa theory.
There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a feeling that the main character, his supporting constellation, is the author.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And like,
Just because his main supporting constellation is just like, yeah, dude, do whatever the fuck you want.
yeah, well, it's not only that, it's like, all right, so the one ability that he gives him is the ability to regress, right? And think about this. He wrote the entire story of this dude and then like typed it up in the past for people to read. So there's time travel going on all over this bitch. Anyhow, uh and I feel
Well,
like he
you
did it
should
on
probably
purpose.
tell them what constellations are in
Mm,
this story, so they're
they're
not
like they're kind of like
confused.
deities or historical figures, things like that.
Or better way for people to understand,
Well,
they're you, viewer. You are the constellation in the story,
oh yeah,
basically.
because these live actual events, the book stuff that starts happening, all this crazy shit, is being streamed to the gods as a form of entertainment. That is literally something that happens. The dokebi or whatever they're called. I don't remember.
The Dokebi, yeah, they're
Mm-hmm.
the room moderators,
Yeah, kind
or
of.
the stream, or the host of the stream. I don't
Yeah,
remember which off the top
They're
of
the
my head.
stream. They're like the stream hosts,
Okay.
and then the gods are the viewers. And then what they're watching,
Yeah.
instead of watching some schmucks talk about manhwa or gaming stuff, or people doing gaming or VTubing, no, no, no. They prefer to
They're-
watch species try and survive through apocalypses that they have engineered.
It's basically they're watching the equivalent of an apocalyptic version of Squid Game.
Ironic because we're in Korea most of the time here.
I know.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around Korean man ends up in the Greek/Roman underworld. Still trying to wrap my head about that. Oh well.
It makes perfect sense if you don't think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is that. Oh man. I don't want to spoil anything too much for them, but honestly, I don't know how else to talk about this series because I get really excited and I want to talk about things that are like kind of spoily, but also like I was like, what's the least spoily thing we can like vibe off of and just have a conversation for? Otherwise, this is the shortest infomercial ever for a online novel or web comic. And funny enough, physical versions of this are out in stores right now.
Well worth picking it up, but
Mm-hmm.
I prefer going surprisingly, I prefer going through Webtoon just so that way I can stay up to date on it on my phone.
Mm. They're about done
Oh.
wrapping up volume 10 of the light novels in over on K manga for the manga of Slime. Really are really loving that. Sorry, getting back to omniscient
It's
reader.
kind of hard to
I
figure out
don't
what we can gush about without, being too
maybe we should have like the
spoiler
spoiler
heavy.
free section and it be like 30 minutes of spoiler free and us just trying to like piece together how. By the way, guys, we have no idea what we're doing. I put this together because I know we wanted to talk about like web comics and manhwa and stuff like that, and I was like, cool, let's just turn that into a show. Maybe the first half is spoiler free and the second half is just spoilery as hell.
We're pulling shit out of our ass as we go along.
We don't know. Or we could do spoiler free for a short period of time this week. Come back next week and be like, I hope you guys read. Because we're not holding back. This is the spoiler version. Yeah. I'd be down with that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we could actually go through the webcomic, which is kind of sort of something that I wanted to do. Mm. I also really like the fact that I really like the fact of how he survives the subway. That's like the very first thing is just the subway, and I love how
No,
our dude
let's show them the
survives the
prologue.
subway. The prologue?
Yeah, because that's not very not spoilery at all, because it's just there to hook you.
Views 1. It was a serialized web novel that no one seemed to read. 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse, or TWSA. Why doesn't anyone read this? It's a masterpiece. My dude, you
About
don't
that.
say that later. You're like, yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but I'm so glad I read it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I totally get it. Total number of episodes 3,149. Average view count 1.9. Average comment count 1.08. No wonder he let it. No wonder he kept letting him read this. Like this dude was like his biggest fan, and he would actually comment on the episodes. And like, man, if the author of this, I do. Okay, if nothing else, I do think that the author is a constellation, 100%. Like whoever wrote the
So,
book in advance, I believe they're a constellation.
so my running theory,
Mm-hmm.
just my theory on it, is the author isn't a constellation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the being that created the entire system.
Oh, supersedes the whole thing. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, like the thing that's like, okay, cool. I made all this. It's getting boring. Let's spice it up.
I'm the only reader, and it took me 10 years to get to the last episode. So this dude has been reading this thing since 10 years back. And the really funny part is it used to have a lot of readers, but they kind of all just stopped off.
They fell
They
off.
dropped off and quit reading around what, chapter 50?
I think a couple of them got up into the hundreds.
Okay. Back then I had no idea. Crash. Growl. Roar. On the day I finished the web novel. No way. I know. I know how this story goes. So everybody else, the story I alone had been reading for the past 10 years turned into reality. And that's also, we just want to point this out. The art's really good.
The art is amazing.
Yeah. Like it feels like alive at this point. And I'm gonna sit here and say, like, I do think that from the standpoint of an episode 1, this is way better than Solo Leveling's art in episode 1. Like, if you guys have not checked out the manhwa, the early manhwa for Solo Leveling, it's good, but you can see it's kind of rough. This is also rough in comparison to the actual show or to the actual series, as it will go later, but this is still very good.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it's the final episode. I'm too nervous to even open it. The ending, tap. Became the only person who knew how the world was going to end. That's omniscient reader.
You get to meet each and every one of these characters, and
You
boy,
do. You get to
do
meet
they-
all of them.
and a lot of them play a huge role.
Yes, they do. Oh man, I can't even.
Also, the web novel is completed for it.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes. The fuck, dude, that ending. The fuck.
Oh, so omniscient reader actually ends.
The fuck.
The story for omniscient reader has finished. Okay, cool. I wish it were kind of like Tapas, where, because like with Tapas, I can actually read like the novel as well as the webcomic. Let me get to Tapas. TAPAS.io. Bam.
That is not Tapas.
Oh, that's because I typed it wrong. I hit S instead of A. Tapas.
I was expecting something like
Oh, no. No. Why is it? Oh, no. Okay. No, I don't need that. Novels. There we go. Action fantasy. There we go. Novels, action fantasy. And here we go. Yeah. I'm
You're in
back
the beginning
here.
after the end, not omniscient reader, damn it.
Oh no, I know. I'm aware. But I'm saying that I wish that Omniscient Reader had the novelization on the same site like Tapas does. Because I don't think Omniscient Reader has it or is on here. Solo leveling is, which is kind of crazy. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Nope. No. No, it's not. I was curious. And there we go. All right. So back to Omniscient Reader. What else can we talk about that isn't like spoilery?
That,
Okay,
that's
good
that's
talk.
tough. That
Yeah.
is very tough.
All right. So you know what? Let's rate just the subway train, the subway car, right? Cuz that's really really early stuff. That's like maybe the first 7 to 10 chapters, right?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you put like the very beginning opening act of this story? Where would you put that?
Ooh. I'm giving it a solid 8.
Mm-hmm. It's a very
Just
strong opening.
very
Very,
much
very
so. And
strong.
the fact that that main character thinks outside of the box to
Mm-hmm.
complete the first scenario.
Yeah, because he's like, hey, I know this thing is supposed to happen. I'm not going to do that thing. And it's like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
and
How are you going to
it's
get around how are you going to get around not doing that thing? And he's like, well,
and it's a lot of what he comes up with are loopholes in the
mm-hmm.
wording of the scenarios.
Yes, it's so interesting how he does that.
Like, I know other series have touched on stuff like that, but for him to constantly like dig deep into it, like, okay, so here's my thinking. Here's what it says. This is what I'm gonna do.
Omniscient Reader is way more impressive than uh than saying I'm the smartass that saved the world. Even though it's very on brand.
It is, but he tries to stay in the shadows.
Okay. The only thing I can think left to do is just give ratings of different things because other than that, we can't talk much about this without spoiling. Maybe we'll do the spoiler one next week.
And we should probably label it something like spoiler alert.
Give people a chance to have read it. All right.
Um, well, before we go further, last year they did announce they were making an anime adaptation of this. Still waiting to see the official trailer for it
Yeah, it's
because
totally gonna be,
that,
but it's gonna be by
oh,
Studio ACAT. I just know it.
I don't, I don't think it is.
No, no, I'm just wishing that it gets the same horrendous treatment as the beginning after the end, because like they can't keep doing this to my shows and getting away with it. It's not fair. I'm doing it to one of yours.
Oh, oh no, it's Aniplex.
Oh shit. For financial reasons, that's even worse. Oh man, they are pricey if you want to get a hold of Blu-rays and DVDs.
For yeah, for like
Yeah,
Blu-rays or merch, it's gonna be pricey, but
yeah, they
man,
charge
if
like a
their budget,
motherfucker.
great.
Mm-hmm. All right, characters on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate characters for this series?
Oh, main character.
No, you don't have to
Uh,
go through individual. Just how
okay.
well
Well,
put together are the characters in general?
in general,
Mm-hmm.
easily a 9.
Okay. Okay.
Individually, some lack,
Yeah. I'd agree to a
some are
nine, but
lacking.
like as we get further on, like the ones that are lacking, they get a lot more time and attention, and they become way more interesting.
Yes,
Some
but
in
it's
some
just at the
aspects, it can be a slow
beginning.
burn. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, at the
Well, we're not
beginning, some of the
rating the
characters
beginning.
will grind on you and make you want to just bitch slap them.
I am saying the characters of the series as a whole, and not just simply the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah,
As a whole, yeah, not easily a 9.
yeah. Okay. All right. And writing. How do you find the writing for this series as a whole?
Ooh. The writing, I'm going to have to give that an 8 as well.
Okay. And lastly, the art.
That's going to be a 9.
Okay.
The art is amazing. Especially when you get to like
It's not the
the
best you've
action
ever seen,
scenes.
but it's close.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially when you get to action scenes or some of the bigger reveals, or even when you see some of the things that show themselves for the first time. It's always, well,
Mm.
like, holy fuck.
All right. And last but not least, um, this is going to sound like a survey. How likely are you to want to tell everyone about this series?
An 8. Like, I
Okay.
tell people that I know would, or that I feel like would like really like it.
Mm-hmm. So people that watch like the isekai genre of anime, I think would really enjoy this
I
because it
wouldn't
has a
say
similar
isekai.
vibe.
It
No,
kind of
because
does,
it
but
has
at the
that
same time, it
it ha
doesn't.
it scratches that isekai itch without having to leave the world. But also, dude, a shit ton of isekai fans watched and loved Solo Leveling. And it's like if you like Solo Leveling, you'll love Omniscient Reader. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Hey, you know why they watched and loved Solo Leveling?
Mm,
Because they put up with ReZero.
fair. Fair. All right, guys. Uh it's a short one, but that's going to be it for us. Until next week. Next week, we're going to do a spoiler review. So please, please, please check this show out. Please
At
check it
least the
out.
first couple episode or chapters. Dip your toes in, see if it's for you. If it is, go fucking
Get
hog
the
wild.
dude.
Binge
I'm
the
gonna tell
shit
you.
out
I'm
of
gonna tell you right now. Give it the three rule. The rule of three that I give with anime. It's like okay, we typically 3 episodes. If we don't like it, drop it. If you go through now, this is not. We're not counting the prologue. The first chapter, second chapter, and third chapter. If you get through 3 chapters and you want to put it down, do it, and then tell us why next week. We want to know why. That being the case, though, guys, that's it for us. Uh, keep reading. That's the big one. And if there are any manhwa that you recommend that you want us to check out, we might do that and review it. So let us know in the comments if there is a webcomic or a manhwa or a manga that you think we should check out that you're interested in hearing our thoughts on because you never know. We may already be reading it and be like, hell yeah, we want to talk about that. So, yeah, that's it. I am Richie Roberts.
I'm Fenner Sauron.
I know we're so used to Anime Church where I'm supposed to follow it up with like the patron saint of
I know,
blah
I had
blah
to stop myself.
blah. All right, guys, that's it. Just please get out there and read more. Reading makes you a better writer. And if you want to be a good writer, read. Just read. See what other people are doing. Uh, see the things that are interesting about their writing style and other tidbits like that. And yeah, see what works, and even more importantly, see what doesn't work. Learn from the things other writers have done as well as from your own writing. Obviously, you need to grow from your own writing and not just copy paste what others have done. That being said, though, we'll see you next time. Take care and bye bye for now.
Oh.